I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how often they fuck with my technology. I don't give a fuck. I will be heard. I will be heard. I will be heard. I don't give a fuck. 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 I still got the reading out. I don't give a fuck. The cards are still out. I don't give a fuck. Fuck with me. I'm still gonna speak. And they're gonna still hear the truth about all these motherfuckers. Son of bitches. Jive turkey. Anyway. So the reading is still out. These practitioners are afraid. These practitioners are individuals, these karmic practitioners that are relatives of the collective, in some cases, exes of exes, families of exes, you name it, of the collective. And they have forced their way into proximity. They have forced their way in order to still attempt to harm and unaliven and compromise the health and well-being of the collective and their children. They've done this via connecting with the weasels of the land, okay? And so they're still doing spell work. They're still having people illegally enter the premises in order to put poisonous substances in the units, to put their nasty, trashy energy in it, to take things that belong to the collective and the collective's children. They're doing this via connecting with the corruption of the land, the corruption in these housing programs, and all of that. Corruption with the landlords, managers, and residents. It's as simple as that. They hoover over the collective in order to do weird things. They want to be in proximity for that reason. They silenced the last video because it's the truth. I want to see if they'll be able to do it via this device, though. I'm going to play with that. And if there's issues with that, then I'm going to take it as far as I have to go. Because I will be heard. They are crossing every line and boundary and law you can think of. They're currently hoovering my son in apartment 6206. They're doing all sorts of weird shit there as it pertains to my son and me. Okay? They're hacking into our technology. They have hacker friends and corruptions and you name it, playing with my technology. Okay? Okay. So they thought that I was just going to let it go, and I'm not letting it go. I'm going to be very wise about what I do, but I'm going to do it. Okay. These distorted practitioners have weaseled their way close to the collective. Collective learned their lessons and attempted to be rid of all these people, whether this is exes, estranged family, you name it. These individuals have blocked communication, messages, driven wedges in connections with other family members, fucked and sucked the collective's people, paid people to not say anything. They're doing shit to disabled people, disgusting things. They wake up and they've been at it since 3 in the morning and this morning. And instead of getting their skanky asses up and going to a doctor and so, perhaps, or a lobotomist, they get up and continue to try to provoke you because they're done. They're afraid because I have over here that feminine is recognized in the ethers. They could be being blocked in the dream space here. Okay. Whatever they've been doing to you all when you're asleep or in the dream space, constantly fucking with you and your children and the collective here. They're afraid about some spell work because what came out from the tarot and from the Kipper is they are afraid of this fortune that they done stole or that they're hoping to get. Adjudication here in the reverse. They're afraid of that ass whooping. Okay. They're afraid of that ass whooping. I asked about, okay, what are they afraid of? What happened to put them in this energy of being afraid? Okay. And so I got the Hanged Man here. Piscean energy came out. They're afraid of, because they basically tried to sacrifice the collective and the collective's children. They're doing rituals. They pay people, for money. But they're not afraid enough as far as I'm concerned. None of these skanks are afraid enough as far as I'm concerned. They're not afraid enough. I'm sorry. I apologize for that because I had my mouse on my lap there. They're not afraid enough. Because being afraid enough would alter their conduct and behavior. So in other words, they wouldn't have their trashy ass up there right now doing shit. They wouldn't have no one else nowhere else doing shit. They certainly would not be playing with my technology. So they're not sorry enough. They're not afraid enough. They're afraid of this truth and clarity, and that they actually might go to jail of what they were doing in secret to create blockages and to do like domination and shit in secret with this moon energy. This hoe is being hidden in somebody's house. Okay? In somebody's house, somebody's garage, room, attic, basement. Okay? But this is also what they have been doing to the collective with magic in secret under the moon to have them tied down with some kind of domination weird shit. So they're afraid that they're not going to have a pot to piss in and a leg to stand on with this Seven of Wands in reverse. What they've been doing to get to you all, to break through your boundaries, what they do to you all when you all are vulnerable. This is the bitch that's possibly sitting on the floor like Alex and shit. Yeah, they're afraid of this ricochet effect. Seven of Wands coming in the reverse. Judgment. They misjudged the situation. They misjudged the magic. They misjudged this whole shit. And they're afraid of getting that ass beat. And they're afraid of jail. They're afraid of getting that ass beat. They're afraid of this truth and clarity. That with this truth and clarity, people gonna beat their ass. There's gonna be some people that don't care just as much as they don't care about being up around the clock doing spell work on disabled people, innocent folks when they vulnerable, just like they don't care about putting sprinkled dust and poisonous toxins and shit. There's gonna be motherfuckers that don't care about whooping their ass before they can say abracadabra. Okay? They're afraid because this is what's happening. They're not going to be able to protect themselves. They don't have any protection. What could have happened in the spell that this is when they discovered that they didn't have protection, and that shit ricocheted. Okay, with feminine being here as respected, something ricocheted. Okay, and oh, boom, 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 bitch. Okay, over here with disgusted, because we're asking about how they feel. So these karmic practitioners are concerned about people being disgusted by them because of what they did to block messages, what they did to try to shut feminine up here, with wanted to silence feminine from speaking the truth, because it would have hashtag Barbie movie. It would have eliminated why they left. It would have eliminated what these people have been doing to them in secret. It would have illuminated what people stole from them. Online records and the reverse. They're afraid, concerned that people are going to block them as well. Again, realizing how far these people have gone. These bitches, like I said, in real time, this is a serious matter. And this is why I'm talking about it the way that I'm talking about it. This is not, this is serious. These are psychotics. Okay, this has gone past people not liking somebody and deciding to be, we're not gonna like them and we're not gonna, okay, that's one thing. It's another thing altogether to have a campaign, a full-on campaign, lying to get them put on a watch list, because that's what this is. Lying to get them put on a watch list in order to try to stop the truth from being heard. Hooking up with the corruption, because that's how you do that. Because how do you do it? Okay. They're concerned about people finding out like this is really how far they went to hold on to a fucking house. This is how far they went to steal something. This is how far they was willing to go to hurt the collective and the collective's children with a fake teaching saved asses. They're cowards. Ain't nobody nervous. They can't make us nervous no more. We waiting for these motherfuckers to go purchase a pair of balls, good and plenty. We're not nervous or impressed by people who can hide behind their door doing weird shit. And who can send people to sprinkle shit. Bitch, come out and be what the fuck. If you hear face bitches, because you ain't shit. Nobody nervous. We're sick and tired of it. Okay? We're disgusted. We're disgusted because we don't want nothing to do with these people. This has been a sneaky way to keep cycles going, to keep bringing misfortune to us by following us around, enforcing their nasty, trashy, karmic slut. Their Jezebelian, Arconian energy. To karma dump, trauma dump. This is just yet a continual attempt to destiny swap. I'm going to scoover around like the hunchback of Notre Dame and cause misfortune and make them run away. Well, they finna get cursed because I'm putting the plague on shit. That's my new thing. You don't drive me. You don't do that and think that somebody can step in this bitch and have any kind of luck whatsoever. I'm a curse it. As me and my son's feet depart, the feet that touch the ground up in hell. Fucking come in my world. Collective, this is y'all too. They're afraid, they're disgusted that they can't silence you. They're disgusted that you don't want to talk to them. They're disgusted that they can't get you off the internet. They're disgusted that they can't keep doing shit to you in secret and get away with it and all of that. And they're afraid that people are going to be disgusted and offended and repulsed by this. They're repulsed with your message, and they're repulsed at the message because your message is truth. Your message reveals their nasty ways. They caused people to be disgusted with you, but it's coming out that it was a reason for it. It was a reason they wanted people to be disgusted with you. Because they didn't want people to believe the truth as the truth came out. It's a reason they wanted people to look at you as somebody just angry and full of ego and hate, because they didn't want people to know and find out it was them that's in that energy. They're the ones that's hoovering you, not the other way around. They're the ones that's following you around the globe, not the other way around. They're the ones that's paying people to stalk you, not the other way around. They're the ones that's illegally surveillancing you, not the other way around. They're the ones that's copying and trolling everything you do with their little fucking monkeys, and not the other way around. They're afraid, but not afraid enough as far as I'm concerned. Over here, we have message reversed, King of Pentacles. I told you, Earth sign, 6 of Wands in the reverse, ruin and reverse with disgusted. They cause, listen to me, these are people who cause folks to look at y'all. They project it on you. Their lunacy, their sickness, their disloyalty, their criminal behavior. They projected that onto the collective, and they had people looking at y'all like disgusting and something to be avoided. And it's because you were speaking truth, and they knew that if people could hear you clearly, it'll shatter the illusion about them. So they've been doing spell work around the clock to annoy you and provoke you and your children. They have been outsourcing their abuse. The weasels of the land. To aggravate you, so that this energy that may not have all that great of depth in some way, shape, form, or fashion, so that they would look at you as somebody doing something dishonorable, or a loser, or it's just somebody who's just, somebody who's just bitching and moaning or suffering just because of a loss or something. That's what they convinced people. They could have said that you blocked them because of it. You blocked them because they don't, want to pay attention, blah, 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 blah. People fall for this shit. Y'all blocking people, collective, because when you attempt to talk to them and all they do is interrogate you, they don't show any real warmth or sense of empathy and compassion. They gaslight, they don't allude, you know what I'm saying, to the fact that they're talking to some of these very people that have been doing shit to you. That's why y'all block people. Okay? Day trader. So now they could be feeling disgusted because there's an energy. They're afraid of this energy getting this truth and clarity and becoming disgusted with them because of it being made clear of what the fuck has been actually going on versus what they've been saying. They're concerned that this man ain't gonna want to pay them no more attention, that this man who possibly held them in glowing terms is no longer going to be holding them in any kind of high honor after this full truth and clarity. Because this is somebody that possibly, looked at them as respectable, looked at them as a good woman, a good man, and, looked at them as, people maybe being jealous of them because of their success. And with this coming out, they're concerned that this is going to be seen clearly here. That's why they don't want people to talk to you, by the way, feminine. Message in the reverse here. Feminine, masculines that, y'all become clear on shit. That's why they work overdrive to triangulate and gaslight and play those games amongst groups and families and circles. Because they don't want y'all to talk to each other. They don't want y'all to hear one another out truly. If they can't use you as a minion by proxy to get recon and recon on, they don't want you. They're afraid that if you all are able to intellectually, communicate and actually be heard, like sincerely and truly, that's going to shatter the illusion of where they're getting attention and money. Because these could be people who are supporting them, cheering them, giving them a place to stay, giving them money, taking them out. Like this could be that deal. And they're concerned that if they talk to you and intellectually, like y'all could hear, that these people are going to be disgusted because they're sociopathic. Because they're going to discover, so this person was hiding amongst you doing shit. This is disgusting. That's disgusting. What's self-respecting anything? Act like that. Whether they Christian, Buddha, atheist, everything in between. What self-respecting anybody conduct in such a way towards, innocent life, go to this magnitude? Basically, creating an army of misfits or an army of psychotics to trauma dump onto their target. They're concerned, collective, that people are going to see you as friendly and that your own family is crazy. Like they were crazy. They didn't want you to have happiness. They didn't want you to have any ease or rest whatsoever. They wanted you to look like you're not friendly. They're concerned that people are going to maybe become loyal to you. It could have something to do with two men. It could be something to do with, childhood, two men from childhood or from the past. This could be two men that was involved in the situation. They're afraid that today, they could have tried to act some kind of way to get some kind of wrong legal action taken. But they're concerned, at least they should be, because they went around trying to act like you were crazy when they were crazy for being in your life. They had no business. And these people had no business doing what they've been doing. It's as simple as that. I don't care who they are and who they're friends with. These people had no business doing none of that. I'm talking housing authority. I'm talking property owners and landlords, managers, their staff. I'm talking businesses. I'm talking all of it. Residents, tenants, friends, family. None of these motherfuckers had no business doing the shit they've been doing. I don't care if they didn't like you. I don't care if they didn't trust you. Those things do not warrant any of the conduct that these people have commenced. Hell, they planning your energy now. Ill-advised, but they are. To try to provoke you. They're wanting you, oh, let's get up, get going, get going. Not gonna happen, whore. Okay? We're gonna have this conversation intellectually. Okay. Whoa. So somebody, it could be two people, feminine. You may be fixing to take some kind of legal action, and there could be two men that's going to take legal action as well on your behalf. Because again, you're trying to keep a positive mindset, and they know that these people are trying to stop you from having a positive mindset. They know that these people we're going to continue on, that they're not going to relent, and they think it's sick. For some of you, these particular men may think that it is sick because it's like it's your own family or their own family or both. They think this is sick, what people are deriving happiness off of. For some of you, it's people that are pregnant. For some of you, it's queer. You know what I'm saying? Like LGBT, community here. And this is not slight on that. So this is not what I'm saying. It could be like, these could be some people that feel like this is sick. It could be some of the LGBT community that's not the ones that are not benefiting, the ones that are not involved in the shit. The ones that are just as bad. Okay, they don't get a special pass. Okay, because if they acting fucked up, they're acting fucked up like everybody else. These could be men that could be, and take it as a resonate. Don't have to be, because society often don't. They may or may not be both or non-binary or whatever. Okay, that ain't nobody business what somebody want to be. The whole point of this is these people nuts. It could be some toxic people in that community that's loopy as well, doing shit. That they band together a bunch of folks in that community. Taking wrongful legal action against you when they are the ones that's assaulting you. They're the ones that's infiltrating your life, crossing boundaries, stalking, illegally surveillancing, tapping your devices, attempting to unaliven you and your children, attempting to cause. It is what it is. And these people are gonna wish they didn't do that. They're worried about this legal action in the future. They're worried about this distant horizon. And if these people are plotting shit against you, that's going to be a problem for them. Child, you're going to get some kind of happiness here. There's some kind of legal that's turning in your favor. Because again, this is sick, collective. These people keep following you around. That's something wrong. And it's going to vibrate loud enough until people pay attention. the correct folks. That's not psychologically normal behavior while they're trying to point at the anxieties in which they have created in those that they stalk and abuse. That is not psychologically normal and healthy behavior for people to be so enamored and so obsessed. That's not healthy, normal behavior. To want to hoover somebody, sit over them, be on the property, douches, that should be red flag for those that are sound in their mind. That's a red flag. Somebody who they're estranged from this person, but yet they're trying to weasel in. Something's not right about that. Something's not correct about that. Paying people to abuse my process. They done this to me, collective to y'all. They done did shit to your children to try to do it, anything and everything to abuse by proxy, to frustrate, to drain. They stagnated your children for that. This is why some stuff is trailing them in their blood as I speak. And it's going to keep doing it until they own it out loud, until people make them be accountable. And folks run the church now. They ain't gonna change nothing. They gotta own this shit. People gotta own their role and their part. Or not. Or not. And just let the chips fall as they may. Okay. So look. Now I asked, because we were asking how do they feel, these distorted practitioners. This is what the first roll of cards was about. And it says they're mad. Okay. Then I said, okay, well, why are they mad now? What are they mad about then? Ain't they got this? They got all of the corrupt connections that money can buy. What the fuck they mad at? That's the part that I don't necessarily understand. When you have all these connections, you can do this and this and this. So what the fuck you mad about then? You should be good to go. You should be solid gold. They're mad, and the first card out was protection. Then the next card out was spiritual connection. Then the next card out was happiness, wholeness, overjoyed, smiling. Okay, so some kind of, this is the sunflower, so there's definitely some illumination type of energy. Then we have a fake reform, still in the deal of betrayal, went in the reverse. Then we had the Two of Cups reverse, the Devil upright, and the Hermit reverse. So they're mad because of this exposure. They're mad because you all are protecting yourself from fake connections. They're mad because they themselves can't come with some fake apology for playing with your love life. You're protected. You're protected, and you are protecting yourself. You're protecting your happiness. There's energies that are supporting this. This is going to keep getting exposed when people try to do the weasel. It's like, be sincere. They keep trying to weasel, so they're mad that that's not something that's going to happen. And then now I'm going to get to, did I cover that? Boom, bitch. Yeah, I did. So boom, this is right over here. Now, a main female Okay, a younger feminine, house reverse, and thief. They can be mad that there's some kind of exposure, whether that's thief of time, thief of relationships, resources, money, everything that they keep trying to take from you, stability, house. This could be to do with a house or your stability, your home life. I don't know if they're mad that a younger feminine uh, is exposing it, or if this is one of the karmics. Child, anywho. So, they ain't feeling, they could be hiding all this. They concerned about this spell work. They're concerned about judgment. They're concerned about y'all talking to people. Maybe people are going to be reaching out to y'all. Maybe y'all were unblocking people. They could be concerned that you are going to unblock somebody, or that somebody's going to unblock you, or you're going to reach out or something. They're concerned. They know that the collective don't want to talk to people. This is why they engross themselves in lies, because they want to keep that separation. They don't want nobody talking openly and honestly that they can't control and dictate and manipulate the situation. Anytime I done taught over the years about ways that you can bypass karmic bullshit, and don't nobody want to do it. People too chicken shit. But it's simple. It's more simple than people make it. When you truly want to get to the bottom of something, not this, I pretend I want to understand. I pretend I want the truth. I pretend I want to get to the bottom of none of that, because that's bullshit. When you seriously want to get to that, there are some simple ways of doing it. The reason why that terrifies them is because they don't get to have leverage and power control over the situation. They need to be able to dictate the communication and the narrative, to be able to do a spell real fast, bitch. Okay? To be able to run some game real quick. And they can't do that if, the individuals involved is kind of coming into the mind space of like, let's all call them. Let's have a conference call. We have conference calls with each other, good and plenty, don't we? Don't we? We have group chats with one another, good and plenty, don't we? Yes, we do. So let's have that. Let's do that. Okay. Since we all have so many opinions on this fucking person. We have so many thoughts and opinions, and everybody's saying something, but we are all chicken shit cowards because that person is not here to speak on their own behalf. And why is that? Are we afraid of something? What are we afraid of? This is why, and they know the collective is going to be guarded, and because they don't know whether or not somebody is involved or not. They know that. That's the mental illness of these types of people. They know that. They know collective ain't trusting because of everything that's happened. They know that the collective is looking kind of sideways at people who may look at them in honorable terms, or people who are still dealing with them, because it's like that's scary to them. It's like the fact that you still dealing with them and you ain't seen nothing that's right. I don't know if you can be trusted or not. And then if they talk, and then depending on what comes out their mouth, if they're directing the collective to go to those people, it gives the collective the impression that chances are they're under their spell, or they may be involved. When collective have sought to speak with great aunts and cousins and all of these different things, saying shit like that's not the answer. And collective just realized like, okay, no, we're not doing that either. We're not doing that. Because this is not about, oh, that's my no. It's about right and wrong. And that's a part of what's fucked up about these families and what never changes and never will until enough people stop bullshitting. And all these people that's involved, this is why this is happening to these karmic families. Because if everyone was in on something, then they got to face that judgment. That is correct. They shall face that judgment. They objectify the collective and their children like they didn't matter, so they're going to face that damn judgment. Like them and their kids were better and more important and more deserving of basic human decency. In other words, a right to be able to take care of themselves and stabilize. They didn't even want the collective to have that. Fuck the collective having riches. They didn't want the collective to fucking have that. Basic shit. That's what's sick about the bitches and the dudes that support them. And the other bitches, that's what's sick about them. That's what's depraved about their ass. And I don't care how fine any of them are, just for the record. I don't care how fine looking any of them are. I don't care what their titles are. I don't care what their accomplishments are, because I know, as does the collective, we see straight through it. These are people who possibly have that Tesla because they're doing baneful work on disabled people. Now, because they're out here being weird sycophants, pervs. Pedophiles, incestuous and shit. Nasty. Mm-hmm. Out here being a bully that they've been since they were in school. For some of them, they're bullied in and they're one now. Bullying disabled folks since they was little. Carolyn, curling. Just like the rest of the little demon spawn kids. Terrorizing the different. Get it from their mammies and their daddies. And then say, hallelujah. Now, when I end this video, let me tell you something what's going to happen. A few things going to happen today. Few things. As I end this video, if I discover the sound, they might as well just get themselves ready for some things. Because if that's fucked with, I'm about to do some more shit. Because as they persist in trying to stop messages from going forward, I'm going to persist in some other things. I asked about the judgment. There was a card here that says neighbors should have stayed in their place. They didn't. They have secrets that we know about. How are you going to find tooth comb somebody's life and you aiding and abetting and an accessory to some toxic fucked up shit? How you going to be a criminal, full-fledged, full-on criminal, and call yourself? That's why people shouldn't mind their business anyway. I don't know what the fuck happened to people go around acting like that's what the fuck they own. They the realest motherfuckers walking and shit. They OG. You not a fucking OG. These motherfuckers, you ain't no goddamn OG. Because if you was an OG, you would know your OGO ass would stay in your OGO place. In other words, minding your OG on ass business. No OG. OGs ain't on that shit. Unless it's some real, serious shit. The only time real old school OGs, the only time that they get themselves involved, it's got to be something real heavy and serious, where it's like, okay, this is bad. This is potential danger and catastrophe for lives. Like, and even then, they're very selective of how they might go about something like that at all. But on some other shit, they not no makeshift hall monitor, bitch. They don't take jobs being no makeshift hall monitor, and they show the fuck, you know what I'm saying? No, they not. They not signing up to be hall monitors and shit. Not no OGs. They don't even like that. They got raps and songs about that kind of shit. That's why I said these motherfuckers ain't no OGs. They're a bunch of cowards looking for a come up. And looking for vengeance. That's what the fuck these people are. Vengeance on people daring to have a boundary and defend themselves and not allow themselves or their children to continue to be victimized without a fucking fight. They should have stayed in their fucking place, because now they're opening up. They done fucked around and opened up Pandora's box now. They should have left collective alone. All these people should have found a new career. They should have found another way in life to have a come up. They could have found another way to get a fucking car. They should have did like regular normal people when you have a very, very, very bad breakup and a fallout with somebody. Talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Whoop, they're gonna talk some shitty shit, go get you a new wig. You know? Like regular people. And then let that cycle pass and then move on with life and invest more in self-care and self-love and something productive. The judgment, Sagittarian family energy here. I got Sagittarian. I see 21. There's a judgment for creating endless cycles, for blocking people from seeing the truth. So they're going to go down for this. They're going to lose their sight because of how they use theirs. This could be spiritual senses. Okay. People may end up hiding from them. Family members may end up, because what they did to keep somebody isolated, to drive wedges and things like that. This is also the patient's energy, so they're going to not be able to recover from something. They're not going to be able to heal for keep continuing to try to cause you sickness. These people are literally been poisoning you and trying to cause you and your children sickness. Literally trying to stop you from being able to heal. With this coercive control, with all of the things in which they have conspired. So they're not going to be able to heal. They didn't take ownership of something. They took something that didn't belong to them with these pyramids here. The second house owning. They're going to lose their assets. They're not going to be able to heal and recover. Somebody could be 26 years old. Yeah, they're going to have to, the judgment is they're going to lose their assets and they're going to lose any knowledge they have with the pyramids. Any weird shit they got, they're going to be fucked. Bad. Sixth house routine. They kept trying to fuck with your routine. Look at this is alchemy. Let me make sure y'all ain't seeing my delicates. It's not Christmas yet. And even still, y'all didn't see. You don't see that. Somebody could be in their 30s and 40s over here, Grand Cross Provoker, sixth house routine. But if you look at this, this is like medicine, like alchemy. They kept trying to stop you from alchemizing. They kept trying to attack you and unaliven you and stop you from alchemizing your life, your body, that of your children. They didn't want you to be able to have your routine. They kept wanting to disrupt what you were doing to build. And as a result, their body may very well get affected. They wanted your routine disrupted, and their judgment is theirs is going to be disrupted. They affected your body, your children's body, their body is going to be affected in some way. They wanted to control your movement, your actions, which you do and not do. So they may about to be walking into a situation where that's imposed upon them. Because they keep trying to provoke you. For some of you, they've been doing this. It could be something pertaining to whatever they did since you were 47. So maybe the last few years that they just keep trying to provoke you. They keep trying to, make you sick. They keep trying to do shit. They keep trying to take shit away from you. Shit that don't belong to them. They keep trying to steal your healing energy. So what they have done, if they have provoked some higher energy that's going to come provoke that ass. Good and plenty, bitch. Good and plenty. That's the judgment on them. Grand Cross Provoker. Okay? They're gonna feel provoked. They're gonna be put at crossroads. Their judgment is they gonna live this. They're gonna live this. They're gonna live this. And as they persist, they just bringing everybody down with them. They're bringing cities, communities, families down with them. The very people that's even helping them is oblivious to the fact that that's what the fuck is happening. And I'm talking law and everything in between, baby. And whoop. Okay. So now, boom. The end, because at the end of the reading that they, cut the sound off. Now let me give you the end because it was some runes that came out in the end for encouragements for the collective. Okay. Like I said, y'all, if you can't hear me and you just see in my hands and all that, I will work it out and figure it out. Okay. If I have to pre-record shit, I'll do that. If I have to do musical social media, I'll do that. Okay. All the various platforms. Okay. So yeah, it may serve you to follow, like, subscribe on all of the links I provide, because just in case I have to, shuffle around some of these platforms here. Okay. Boom. So let me go ahead and get the final. This was already done. So the good thing is I had left the cards initially, and I did that on purpose because I'm like, let me end it and let me see if the sound is there. And I'm glad I did that. They was doing all kind of shit in the phone, like click and click, 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 click. Like they're psychotic. It's a psychotic bitch. These are some psychotics, and they finna get a psychotic reward. They're working with people who are psychotic. That's how they do. They band together with toxic energy. They manipulate people's minds. Some of the folks that they banned could have been good folk, because I can't say that indefinitely that everybody, but the problem is that, bad company corrupts good character. So, even if people were good folk, they didn't let themselves get in the web of the narc. And now they got a spell on that ass. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm gonna just leave it there. Bad company. It's in the book that they read. At least pretend to. Bad company corrupts good character. You know what I find funny? Some of these people think bad company is people who think differently than them or believe differently, but they can't even discern the bad company in the form of those who do believe what they believe, or at least claim to. They can't discern it if they were paid to discern it. That person don't give a shit about them, that they're just an ends to a means to an end, objectifying them for their goal and purpose, and they trash. Because maybe some of these people aren't into the same trash, whatever the case, they trash, they sycophants. They do toxic shit for hire. They do toxic shit to innocent lives because they feel like they're discriminatory against those lives. They feel like it's a waste on those lives, as if, bitch, I just saw the name Amanda Lovelace. I don't know. Amanda. I just saw the name Amanda over here. That's my point. People be acting like they'll sit there and talk to you. I have a disabled cousin, and I have people treat me out with that shit. It's like, well, bitch, nigga, listen to me. Don't stop that. Stop that. Stop that. If that's the case, just stop. Stop that shit. I got a cousin or a son. Well, motherfucker, then you should have some fucking compassion and empathy. Where's your brains at? Where's your get up? Because the truth of the matter is these people don't be caring unless it's pertaining to theirs. That's another factor. Because if they cared in general for that population, then they would not sign up for such treason. My daughter has got autism. Well, apparently that don't matter, honey. Because one day your son and daughter gonna be the age of the collectives. One day. And depending on the life you choose and the actions you take, yeah. Then they're gonna become prey to every snake around them. looking for a free ride and a come up. You ain't gonna be able to do shit about it. I'm gonna make sure that happens. No, you won't. You won't be able to. You know why you're not gonna be able to? Because that's the judgment. You won't be able to. Ain't gonna be no tie bracelet or nothing else in the world that's gonna change it. If you actively participate in being okay knowingly with this kind of shit, then that's the judgment. I don't know why that kind of judgment is hard for people to really manufacture in their mind. Like, hey, this is fruit. You were okay with this when it pertained to somebody else. You were okay with this. Remember. You were okay with it when it pertained to somebody you didn't like. You were okay with it. Remember that. You were okay with it when you thought you was going to get an Escalade for Christmas. You were okay with it. Remember that. You were okay with it when it was getting a high off of irritating this person's mother or whatever. You were okay with it. So you got to remember that. Because your ignorance, your lack of intelligence in a sense of just like what affects you will affect your seed in your life, whatever you're taking through, whatever happens to you will have some kind of trickling effect to your child, your offspring. So it does the people that you are willing to do that to. So the fact that you want to be sitting here and making noise like you own, like you ain't took your medicine. The fact that none of that matters to you. The fact that your trashy ass is gonna sit there and do spells on a disabled person when you have a disabled seed reeks mentally ill and disturbed. The fact that there's any pleasure derived is the reveal of these sadists. Of watching these disabled people suffer and struggle because these people got mental illness and an ego that won't quit. Because these folks feel entitled to a high and fancy life on their fat ass, they bony ass, they disgusting, thoughtamodocious, thieving, thuggish ass.